So try to understand the logic here. So I am going through the solution. So this is the maximum. This is to find the maximum of three numbers using if else construct. Okay, so let me, so this is the, here the maximum value is 9, right? So let's run this code first. So the maximum of 5, 1 and 9 is 9. So it is printing the correct value, but you see that the correctness of the code does not ensure the correctness of logic. So sorry, what did I say? What I mean is the correctness of output does not guarantee the correctness of logic, because I could have done it manually and printed 9, right? So that is not the point. You have to do in such a way that even if I change the values of the variables, still you are, still you will get the right answer. If I change it to 1, then it should print 5, right? Sorry, this is the previous code, previous version. So now it is 5. So let's look at the code and try to think it logically. Okay, so you do a particular operation only when it is required. Otherwise, you don't do it. So first, what? So do you know the law of trichotomy? So law of trichotomy says, given two numbers, they can be real numbers, they can be natural numbers, whatever they are. If only three operations are possible, three comparisons are possible between them, right? Greater than, less than, or equal to, right? So you have to use that particular notion. So first, so I need to find the maximum of A, B, and C. So first what I do, I see if A is greater than B or not. If this is true, so I already know that A is a candidate to be the maximum. So I could have stored max equal to A here also, but let's do some other check. So let's do the final and confirmatory test. So here I check A with the third number. So we know that A is greater than B from this line, and after this line we know that A is greater than C also. So there is no doubt that A is a maximum number. So I store the value of A to the variable max. So max now contains the maximum value. But if this statement is false, you see that what are the other possibilities? A is greater than C. This is false. Then A can be either less than, so C can either be, C can be greater than A, or C can also be equal to A, right? So these are the options. C is greater than or equal to A, and we already know that A is greater than B, right? So we don't need to check C with B again, because by the law, by basically transitivity, you can do that. You can say this: C is greater than A, and since A is already greater than B, then C must be greater than B. So you store the you store the value of C into this variable. So C is now the maximum. Okay. Now, what if this statement is false? Similarly, if this statement is false, then if A is not greater than B, then either it is less or equal to. So we can also write this. So B, so if this is false, B is either greater than A or it is equal to A. Okay. So now we know that B is a candidate to be the maximum. A is no longer in the race, right? So I have to check B with the third number. What is that number? That is C. So if this is true, B is greater than A or equal to A, doesn't matter. Even if it is equal to A, it doesn't matter. If B is greater than C also, this means that B is greater than equal to A and B is greater than C. So B is definitely the maximum number. Okay. Else, so what if this is false? then we can say that C is greater than or equal to B, C is greater than or equal to B, and we already know B is greater than or equal to A, right? Since A less than B was false, B is greater than or equal to A, then C is greater than or equal to B and B is greater than or equal to A. Then C is safely the maximum number. Even if the equality hold, it doesn't matter because we are concerned with the value, not the variable, right? So we are concerned with the maximum value. So I printed the value of max. I hope this is clear to you. I mean, I will send this code, but you should be able to think this. So, I mean, there is a question of whether you will be able to write this particular code. That all depends how well you have understood if else. But there should not be any problem in understanding the logic, right? The logic is simple enough. So what I do actually, if I write in simple words, we take 3 integer type variables A, B, and C, out of which we want to find the maximum and we want to assign the maximum value to the variable max. So we check if this condition A is greater than B. If this condition C1, that is A greater than B, is true, we check if condition C2, that is A greater than C. If C2, that is A greater than B, is also true, then we set max equal to A, else we set max equal to C. But if C1 is false, that is A is not greater than B, then we check B with C, if B is greater than C. If this is true, then we set max equal to B, otherwise we set max equal to C. So thus, after these 2 lines of code, these 2 lines of pseudocode, if I can call it a pseudocode, we can say that max now contains a maximum of the maximum value of the 3 variables A, B, and C, right? Simple enough, right? So let's continue with the remaining part of the lecture. So where did we stop last week? Yeah, we talked about this. So there is something called braces. So you see that in this particular code, I have used a brace, right? By brace, I mean this opening curl bracket and the closing curl bracket. So whatever is written in this if is a part of the true block. So what is a true block? The block which will be executed if the condition inside if is true, and you can have a false block that will be executed if the if condition is false. But you may not explicitly use a curl brace. I mean a curl bracket or a brace. So you so if you don't use it, the line immediately following the if statement will be under if statement, nothing else. So in this particular code, I can show you the code here. Yeah, I can show you the code here. So only printf is under if here. So printf, this printf is under if, and for else part, this only this is under else. So as opposed to the Python convention for indentation, here, even though this printf is written, right under this printf, so this is not under else, so this is outside else. So let us check. So suppose so this is A equals to 3, right? If A is greater than 0, this condition is true. So this condition here is true because A is indeed greater than 0, right? A is 3 and the condition is A is greater than 0. So let's try to execute this. So you see that true is printed and this statement is printed, I am in else, which is false. So which means that this portion is not under else. So in order to put something, in order to put multiple lines under if or under else, you have to use braces. So if I use this, and this, then no confusion would have been there, right? So don't get foxed by the indentation. That's why there was a problem in the exam, right? Indentation is important for C or not. Indentation has no sense. Indentation has no meaning with regards to C programming language, right? Okay. All right. There is another problem here with regards to braces. So if you don't explicitly provide braces, what will happen is this. So if you can go through the code, so int gender equals to 1 and age equals to 58. Gender 1 here means female, 0 means male, and there is a float variable called concession. So I want to calculate the value of concession. So if gender equals to 0, if age greater than 58 concession, else concession equals to 2. So if you go by the indentation, it would appear that this else is under this if, but that is not true, because if you don't provide the braces, the closest if else pairs will be considered. So this if will pair with this else. So this if will not pair with this else. So let's run this code. So if and else pairs would have been considered, then the value of concession would have been 0.2, right? If gender equals to 0, then if this were executed else, which means gender is non-zero, right? So gender can be 1. Then concession would have been 0.2. But let's execute this code and see what happens. So you see the concession is 0. Why? Because this if and else are together, right? So there is no check for gender equals to 1. So there is only one check, that is if gender equals to 0. Okay. Then under this two checks are taking place. If age is greater than 58, which is not, right? Because age is 58. And concession 0.3 else. So but here gender equals to 1, which means that this condition is false, which means that nothing under this if is executed. Nothing under this particular if is getting executed. So concession basically retains its default value 0.0. That's why if we execute this particular code, we are getting concession value as 0, because this if statement body is not executed at all. So how do I correct this? Like this. So I put brace here. Now this entire code is under if, and this else is separate. So let's execute this code now. Now what is concession? 0.2. Why? Because gender is 1, right? So this part is getting executed. So braces are very important, and if you don't use braces, you need to know what are the implications. So here you'll see that the concession is 0, but if you correct this, if you put this particular part under this braces, so under if explicitly, then you will get the expected output. So only the statement immediately following an if else is within its scope. The closest if else pair, the closest if else pair together and indentation is not relevant. So let's look at one more code where I have not used braces. So this is the code, and try to understand it logically also. So suppose the value of the indicator for blue is 1, green is 4, red is 2, and orange is 3. So I have written this particular code. So here, as I told you, that the statement under the if, under a particular if, will be within its scope if there is no braces. However, if under this if there is another if, then it comes under the scope of the first if. So if I run this code, you will be able to understand. So first try to understand it logically. So you see that if you do this, if so I set the color value of color to 2. So if is not equal to 3, right? Then if this is true, which is true here, so color is 2, right? So color is not equal to 3, then it will check the next line. If color is not equal to 2, which is false, right? Color is equal to 2, then its corresponding else will be executed, that is red. So let's run this. So the output is red. Let's change color to 1. So what will happen? Color is not equal to 3. That is true. Color is not equal to 2 also. That is also true. So you see that this if is executed since this is under this if. Now this if is under this if, which means that this will also be executed if this statement is true. So which is true here, right? Color is not equal to 2. Color is 1, so it is not equal to 2. Again, this will be executed. If color is not equal to 4, which is also true, right? Color is not equal to 4 because color is 1. So there are no options left. 3, 2, 4 are exhausted. So the right answer will be blue. So blue is the answer. So let's set it to 4 now. What will happen? Okay. So as I was telling you that if you are not comfortable in using this if else construct without using braces, please don't do that. Please try to use braces if you are not aware of the implications of not using it. All right. Okay. So there is something. So there is something else. So there is something called if else if construct. So we talked about if and else. So there is something called if else if. So let's look at the structure. If this condition 1 is true, block 1 will be executed. Else if condition so if it is false, then it will come to condition 2 and check whether it is true or not. If true, then block 2 will be executed. If both the conditions 1 and 2 are false, then only it will come to this part. Then it will check if condition 3. So I was talking about if else if construct. So it is like this. So if else if and there is an else at the end. So if condition 1 is true, then block 1 will be executed. But if it is false, then the control will come to else if part. Then condition 2 will be checked. If it is true, block 2 will be executed. Otherwise, it will come to condition 3. Like this, if all the conditions are false, condition 1 to n, then default block will be executed. And in general, a block I will be executed. Say this is block I. Block I will be executed if condition 3 is true and all the conditions from condition 1 to I minus 1 are false. That's the case. So we can finish by looking at an example. So we will come to. You should try this out. Anyway, this is the code. Maybe I should not go over the code. I can only show you the code. Okay. Yeah, this is the code. So if marks is greater than 90, grade is S. Else if marks is greater than 80, which means that marks is not greater than 90. So marks is less than equal to 90. It will check if it is greater than 80, which means that if it is greater than 80 and less than equal to 90, grade is A. Like this, it will go on. So maybe we don't have enough time today. We can discuss this in the next class. Meanwhile, please go through what I have been teaching and let me know if you have any problems.